All right. What, buddy? I got a visitor at my house. My daughter-in-law's dog is here. All right, we're gonna show a couple videos, and even kids are saying it now. I'm gonna quickly show this video. I gotta tell people that I'm on. A couple people that I'm on though. Hold on a sec, guys. Take me just 2 seconds here. Okay, a couple videos that we're gonna talk about. Back into Philippians where we left off. I gotta check on that dog. I'm gonna put this video on. Hold on a sec, guys. Hold on. I'm just getting the video going here. Now what's going on? Oh, I must have had the volume down.
Look at the holes on the sun.
Okay, so I'm just using this for a reference, and the sun is doing what he's saying. And those are what look like explosions on the sun. It's God's anger. He's not happy. He's boiling mad, right? The stuff going on in this world, and people not glorifying him and not understanding him, and the false doctrine going on and all the evil going on, and not really knowing who God is. Wouldn't that make you upset if you built something and it all went against you?
Sun, gazing and look at the sun. Look at the holes on the sun. To understand what we are seeing right now, the change is here. The change is now. Raise your vibration. There's no more time. It's now or never. I love you guys so much with all my heart. That right there is going to be felt. I promise you that. It's going to be felt. It's happening right now. These solar flares are about to be massive, guys. Buckle the heck up. Get your heart right with your creator. Understand what you are. There's no more time. Change is now. The change is here. Find your tribe, hold on for dear life, and know in your heart that you are loved. That's all that matters. I love you all. I'm sun gazing.
Yeah, and he's mostly correct. What causes everything? God. So when he moves, everything moves. And he is moving, and everything else is moving as well. This is all caused by God, like my friend said on Facebook today. Everything, God, nothing comes, but it comes through heaven. So everything on this earth is ran by angels and God, Bad angels are allowed to be running it today because that's what rebellious children get. Hold on, somebody's knocking. Hello? This dog. So here come to the next video. Sorry guys, I have to. This is a treat that I'm on. My wife went swimming, so I was like, you know what? It's time to go back online. Give your devotion to God. That's all I gotta tell you. People don't realize in these times you need to be giving more to God. You need to be listening. You need to be. Listen, I can't live without it. I don't know about you, but I have to constantly be talking with God, Jesus, and doing his work, or else, because we're in the final days, there's no time to rest. Rest isn't yet. Not until we leave this earth, till we leave this flesh, then we get our rest. So let's keep going. Some more here. Now it's not letting me get into it.
What the hell was that? Now they're shooting lasers out of the sky? When that starts happening, you'll be lucky you're wearing a cheese head. Wait, where's my cheese head? Nah! What the hell was that? Now they're shooting lasers out of the sky? When that starts.
Okay, this guy's way behind because I seen that 3 years ago. Once again, God shows his children what they're doing first before any news outlet or any fake Christian church walls are ever going to know. It gets given to the weak, the babes, and the fools. Why? Because they're the ones that learned. They're the ones that fell so many times and had to get up. The other ones, they don't know what it's like. They can swim without the wood to get across. But do they get across? That wood is the only way to get across. You get it? That wood from that broken boat, when he told them the boat was going to sink. You guys know how to swim. Go there first. You guys go ahead. These guys need help getting across. If you don't need help getting across, then you might want to think someone else has you. If you're not being tested in these times extremely to the extreme that you've never been in your entire life, then you might want to ask God, why aren't you being tested? Because we're living in the great tribulation and they don't even know what it is because they say physical. But it is physically. But we haven't been raptured yet. They're still holding on to that, seeking to save their life with such fakery. Okay? Rapture is fakery at the highest degree. McDonald's, no. Let's see if it's worthy.
It's a scam.
Check this here. You wake up early in the morning to go to work in order to pay for a house that you hardly live in order to pay for a car that primarily gets you to and from home to work and back. The government take anywhere from 30 to 50% of your wages. And then there's things like VAT, which means you get taxed on money that's already been taxed. Save up your whole working life for a pension. And at the end of it, the government will take 40 to 50% of that. And then in your old age, you're living off canned soup and bread and water. Mate, we're all getting scammed. Then you got your state pension, which you can't get until you're 130 years old. And even then, if you die before you get it, you can't pass it down to your kids. The government take it back. We're getting scammed. Mate, we're all getting scammed. How can you work like 40, 50 hours a week? Like 200 hours a month? You give your life to a corporation, a company. And then...
So let me stop it there. You give your life, hold on, to a corporation. And who's running the corporations? So if you give your life to the corporation, oh, I don't have one here. Oh, yes, I do. So I don't know if the bottle has it. So if you give your life to the corporation, we're already given over partially to the beast. We can't help it. We live in it. So how do you not give yourself to it? You try the most not to give over to the evil parts of it, like porno and bad movies and stuff like that. Music is all cursed. All your music is cursed before you get it. Unless it's gospel music, it's cursed.
So
I don't.
a couple months ago, the Pentagon released that since 2021, they have had over 350 of these UFO sightings. I'm about to blow your mind. There is an end times prophecy in the Bible about this. In Zechariah chapter 5, then I turned and lifted up mine eyes, and looked, and behold, a flying roll. He said unto me, What seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. This is what he was referring to. Now he said, the length of the roll, therefore, is 20 cubits, and the breadth.
Okay, so he doesn't know what he's talking about. A flying roll is a scroll. Okay. Hi, Myra. Did you watch the earlier show? It's really, really, really good. Oh, his dog is itching himself, and it sounds like somebody's knocking on my door. Okay, so the flying roll is a scroll rolling up in the heavens. He says there's a prophecy about UFOs. No, that's the destroyer that causes that. When the destroyer comes, why? Because there's a hard firmament over top of us, and it's going to roll up, and you're going, and that's what's blocking us from seeing the full truth of the heavens. There's a veil, and there's a veil. When that veil comes down, he's talking about it here. Let me, as a flying roll. That's as the sky rolls up like a scroll. All this stuff will come manifest here on this earth in full. Right now, it's manifested in the air with the destroyer, which I did the video earlier. I'm sure Myra's already watched and saw the picture that I have of Shiva Apollyon, the destroyer. I'm the only one in the world, and I'm not trying to brag about it. I'm the only one I've ever seen Apollyon manifest on the destroyer in the sky. And the destroyer is many destroyers. There's many lost souls in there. And those are the souls of the pious, the ones living on earth that haven't given themselves to God yet. They still have wormwood effect. They're drinking, let's say, the blood. God, Satan copies everything. So the wormwood is his blood, his world. What feeds the world makes you bitter and gives you gall is wormwood. It's an angel. Okay, that's all that he's saying. Evil angels are wormwood. They get you bitter. If you keep them inside long enough, you'll become bitter. Have you ever seen old people bitter and they're just grumping at everything? They have wormwood and they're full of it. So when the destroyers and when the angels are set to come down and he tosses the sickles in the ground, which we'll get into right now, cast thy sickle into the ground. Revelations KJV. Okay, so when Jesus does that final call, he calls out the dark spirits and the light spirits to go and inhabit. Now it's time to go get yourself. Your spirit in the sky that does that. The part of you that God kept up there. The second Adam of you, just like Adam, that was kept up in the treasuries of heaven. Okay. So let's go to the Revelations 20:14. And death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. No, that's not what I'm looking for. Well, given the key of the bottomless pit, who is that? That's the destroyer. Given the key to the bottomless pit to open up his gate to let his buddies out. Okay? So let's do this because that's why all the stars are here now. They've already came, they've already fell down, they've already bowed down. That's what bowing down means, coming down. When you go down on your hands and knees, you're going down and you're bowing down. Okay. So when the stars bow down, that's why Jupiter's beside the moon and Mercury is in right now. Who's Jupiter and Mercury? According to the Bible, that's Paul and Barnabas. That's the angels coming down. So Revelation 6:16, and it was said to the mountains and the rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of him that sit on the throne and from the wrath of the Lamb. They've already done that. You know, half the stuff running the country, you don't know whether it's a robot behind that thing because Biden's not Biden. I got video of the real Biden, and that doesn't even look nothing like him. That's not what I'm looking for. This is the one I was. So, and the fifth angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from heaven unto the earth, and to him was given to the key to the bottomless pit. And the bottomless pit, and there arose a smoke out of the pit as the smoke of a great furnace. And the sun and the air were darkened by reason of the smoke of the pit. So when this happens, that's when the Antichrist will fully be coming, when he's cast into that, right? And there will come out of the smoke locusts upon the earth. Now, has this already happened? Isn't that a volcano? What about that one that happened in Hawaii? That's what I'm saying. Wait a minute. Isn't that already happened? Okay. So, and I'm not saying, hey, because it could be a bigger volcano than that, right? So, and it was commanded to them that they should not hurt the grass of the earth. Do you know what that actually means? Not hurt the grass? Myra? When God said, I clothe the grass, why would you clothe grass? Because grass is a baby Christian. Okay. And he refers to grass as a baby Christian because you grow from a seed that's in the womb. And when the seed comes out of its womb, it's a baby. Therefore, it is, yes, there we go. So don't hurt the grass, don't destroy, or neither any green thing, neither any tree that's even full growing people. So there are some people that are full growing as far as they're going to grow in this flesh that they live. and they're sitting back doing God's work still, not wondering why they're not going home yet, because we're in that time where we are being used for that work. So maybe this is the time that you're needed to shine. That's why Jesus said we save the wine for last. That wine is you, your Holy Spirit. You save the good wine for last. Okay. But now what the good wine is you've been cleaned and you're fully good now. Not the other wines that have watered down chemicals or whatever else in it, not refined as well, cleaned as well, whatever, it's still got scum in it. Same thing with us. So and then was given to they should not kill them, but they should be tormented 5 months. Wait, I went too far. That it should not hurt the grass and the earth, neither any green thing or any tree, but only those men which have not the seal of God on the forehead. See, God marks you too. You're marked from the beginning, and people turn on this. You're either of God from the beginning and given salvation and truth from the beginning, or you haven't had salvation and you were one that wasn't made to give it. Now, not to take any hopes away from people, that's not what I'm doing here, but that's how it works. You're either the seed of God or the seed of the devil, and according to the Bible, the devil, the whole world lies in his hands, and there's only just but a remnant. And the remnant is innumerable. So can you imagine the people that didn't make it? The remnant that didn't make it, how many numbers that would be if the remnant of God's people are innumerable? Holy smokes. I can't even imagine. So listen to this, but only those men which have not the seal of God on their forehead. That comes at birth. You will not accept the number of the beast. If you're sealed by God and God took a piece of him off you, created you out of it and put it in your mom's belly, God is the father and the mother. You don't have a mother on the earth. You were just given to her. That's it. So in those days men shall seek death and shall not find it. That hasn't happened yet. Okay? It has to be that manifestal spiritual time. Why can't you find death? Because you are what you are. You won't be able to die. You won't be able to kill yourself because you're spirit. So in those days men shall seek death and shall not find it, and shall desire to die, and death shall flee from them. Get it? Their body has fled from them. They are what they are. That's why he says don't hurt the trees, because maybe some of us are as full grown as we're going to get, and God's just using us in this time for this period of time that we're in, and it saves your soul. See, Paul and all the apostles wish they could live in this time. Why? Because God and Jesus once again saves the best wine for last. Who is the last? The first is the last, and the last is the first. The least is the greatest, and the least. The weakest is the strongest. The weakest is the weakest. Because the strong don't think they're weak. They don't get strengthened through stripes. And that's what God sends for us, tribulations. And they scare us and they hurt our heart. And that's what takes it off of your heart. Evil for good. God created the evil and good, and the evil was created for the good. Because without the evil, you wouldn't know good from evil, and you wouldn't know how to defeat something that you cannot see. Now, these churches think they can defeat things that they cannot see, but yet they still have a mote in their own eye. They're not ready to judge. Anyways, so let's keep going with this. So, in the shapes of the locusts were like unto horses prepared unto battle, and on their heads were crowns like gold, and their faces were the faces of men. Are these that? So, I had a dream. I woke up and I went downstairs, and there was these 3 bad angels in my house making a mockery. And I told them to get out of my house. I cast them out. And then all of a sudden, Jesus put me in my out of my mountain looking, and I could see from both angles. I could see from my body, my spirit, and I could see a big round sun, big round ball of light. That's the tunnel that we go into, the sun. Okay, so I saw that big sun, and then he put me back in my body, and that sun was on the top of a mountain. Where do we meet God? On the top of a mountain. And I watched these angels come down, firing fireballs everywhere. But they couldn't see me because God showed me my body, and it was blending into the ground. It was camouflage, so they couldn't see me. Do you know what that means? Well, you're in Jesus's temple. You have a hedge of protection over you. And so even while you did the wrongdoings that your flesh is doing, God knows you don't want to do that. It's not me sinning, it's my flesh. Romans 7. People do not know how to teach that, and they don't teach enough of that for the people that are having trouble in God. So has that happened? Obviously, it can't happen until you can't get death. So that hasn't really happened yet. But has it happened to some people? I don't know. No, like you have to you can't seek death. It has fled from you. So when they have hair as the hair of a woman, and their teeth were like teeth of lions, and their breastplates were the breastplates of iron, and the sound of wings was the sound of chariots, of many horses running to battle. Is that angels, or what is that? Some people say it's drones. I don't know yet. I have to get off of this because I need to go in this one. That's not the one I was looking for. But anyways, I wanted that to show you the mark of the beast. You're sealed with the mark of God. That's why I really wanted to show you that. Because that's what he said. So if you know that you love Jesus, you're the only one that would know that. Nobody else but you, Jesus, and God would know that. So who cares what anybody else has said or done? There's no need to defend the word of God. Okay. So let's move on. We're going to go on to where we were before. I don't want to get yet there because I'm getting on Revelations. I want to do the whole thing at one time. I don't want to go too far. I want to teach in here because it's been really, really beneficial. So the example of Christ, I wanted to talk about this one because it's so very important. Say Philippians 12, or no, 1:27. Only let your conversation be as it cometh the gospel of Christ. Only let your conversation be about God. Well, not even the Christians can do that today. Because you can't go and talk about God everywhere you go. I can't. Even around some Christians, I can't. Because they don't know what The Bible even says, and they'll do is oppose me, and they've done it enough times where I don't go there. Okay? I've learned over taking bruises from that person and getting yelled and screamed at and told me that I'm a false teacher and I'm right and you're wrong. Okay, you're right. Agree to disagree. I'm not going to defend God's word. God doesn't need me to stick up for him. I need Jesus to stick up for me. So Christ that whether I come and see you or else be absent, I may hear your affairs, that ye stand fast in one spirit. What's going on? There isn't one spirit here. All the churches are separated. What happens if it's divided? I don't even need to say that. And they're not in one spirit. Rapture and believing that you need to go to a building to serve the Lord. Did Jesus go to buildings? Did, but he didn't really preach in a pulpit. He just stood openly. Not as the Christian does today in fine linen. His linen was fine because God kept it clean. The guy never had to shower or anything. He did wash himself, but God kept his garments clean. So, just like Jesus is doing right now, even though you're mishapping one here, one there, and one here, a little bit here and there, as long as they're not adding up, you're being covered. The church doesn't teach you that, do they? This is for the people that have a hard time, okay? Ones that really love God and struggling, like Paul said. We were talking about, he was telling us earlier, Paul, in the earlier teaching, how he suffered as a Christian. He got some of the worst suffering as a Christian, he said, more than even the people could know. Okay. And he also lived with the burdens of killing and having done that to that many people. And he lived in chains, bound. But we are bound to God. That's who I'm bound to. That's what I'm talking about. We're not bound to Satan, but our flesh is. You see? It is Satan. We are born betwixt the dual system to die to the mother and father of this earth, which is Satan, the harlot whore. Find Jesus and who you are, your spirit in the sky, because that's what's going to come for you. That's what I wanted to do. The sickle. That's what I wanted to do. I forgot. Uh, Cast thy sickle in, Revelations, King James Version. That's why it's not working. The sickle. Cast thy sickle in, KJV. That's what's going on. Doesn't know how to spell. Sickle in. Pickle. Sorry, guys. That's why. Oh, I wanted it to play it. Darn it. Let's see if it will. What? Okay. Anyways, usually it plays it for me and then we listen to it, but let's go to it. Revelations 14. So what do you think a sickle is? Isn't that what takes the harvest and reaps it, cuts it down? So, what is the sickle? Doesn't the death angel hold a sickle? What's the death angel? The destroyers. Remember when God said, cover your blood post in the blood of the Lamb? And anyone that didn't, like Pharaoh, lost his first son? And he that sat on the cloud, Jesus Christ, thrust thy sickle on the earth was reaped. So that's the evil harvest angels, the destroyers. This is what happens at that time when we cannot die anymore. You can't escape death. It's gone past that point. That's what's coming up really soon. Is that point just like the beginning of the channel where the guy was saying time is up? We are at 12, 1 minute to 12. People, this is against rapture, by the way. Nobody gets raptured. Oh, thank you, Myra, for coming. I didn't notice that you had to leave. She's been with me for almost 3 years. She's read the Bible for many, many years, guys. And she had to change her Bible too. I have a couple people in here that had to change men's tradition and their Bible. And that's why the Lord had me go also on. We need to be speaking in one spirit. And if someone's not speaking with the spirit you have, and you can't do anything, then you're done teaching that person. And they have a form of godliness, but never coming. They were never sanctified and never meant to be. So we don't waste our time with them. So, and going on, I do believe I was right here. Do all things without murmuring and disputing and complaining, because he says that in another verse in the Bible. Be glad that you have what you have. Okay, I have to move on because we did finish this page. So now I'm on 22. But you know the proof in him that as a son with the Father, he hath served me in the gospel. And that's what we're doing. The main thing is the gospel. Jesus came, died for your sins. He died. He rose 3 days later, and he's coming back for you. If you have, sorry, I got hiccups going on. If you have the real true believing inside you, you will not fail. Okay? So him therefore I hope I send presently so soon as I shall see how it will go with me. But I trust in the Lord that I also myself shall come shortly. There's the hope and the trust in the Lord. So, yet I suppose it necessary to send you to Epaphroditus, my brother and companion in labor and fellow doer, but your messenger, and he hath ministered to my wants. I'm not here to minister to wants. We are not found wanting. I am not a minister. I'm just talking about God. I don't want everything. I have everything I need. Full belief in Jesus Christ. If that's all I got, that and God, I'm good to go. And my neighbor, anybody that's not me. So for he longed after you all. He's longing after us. Was full of heaviness, because that ye had heard that he had been sick, for indeed he was sick nigh unto death. But God had mercy on him, and not on him only, but on me also, lest I should have sorrow upon sorrow. They were being comforted, both of them. The sick was saying, listen, it's time for me to go. And why wasn't he sorrowed? Because he knew he was going to heaven. This is not what they're doing today. He's trying to tell you God had mercy on them because they didn't really have sorrow. One was going to die, and his follower, because God always sends two out, which me and Mark are the two on this channel that he sent out. He is the one that actually prompted me to start. He said, "You're a good teacher, Rod. You need to go online." I was like, "No." He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Yeah, God's been telling me to do my service, but I'm not ready until I finish reading my Bible." And that's when I was around about finished. So I quickly finished up my Bible and started teaching 3 years ago. Now I'm going into the 7th and final year of my tribulation. A lot of the signs are in the people. God will show you through the people where he is. You should know where he is through how you're being purged. You should know how God works a little bit, right? So I sent him therefore more carefully, that when you see him again, you may rejoice, and that I may be the less sorrowful. Receive him therefore in the Lord with all gladness. This is him praying over him. Receive him as your son with all gladness, and hold such in reputation. Because of your work of Christ, he was nigh unto death. You see? He was nigh. Does that mean he's totally in you? No. Because for the work of Christ, he was nigh unto death. He's nigh to you unto death. Believe that. Not regarding his life, to supply you lack of service towards me. Finally, my brethren, rejoice in the Lord. To write the same thing to you, to me indeed is not grievous, but for you it is safe. Beware of dogs. Here's a good one. Beware of evil workers. Beware of the conscious, or sorry, consension, concision, constrife, whatever you want to name. For we are circumcision which worship God in the spirit. There we go. How do you know a man's in the spirit? By the truth. If it corrects in your spirit, if it doesn't on here, and on someone that's, listen, I'm not made to be taught anymore. People want to teach me, and they're sending me stuff trying to teach me. And the Lord doesn't want me taught by people. He's teaching me. I'm not advanced above in any other way. I just, the knowledge and the stuff, the understanding that I have is not really teachable by men on this earth anymore. That's what will happen. That's why God says, I will teach you, because in these times, I can't find anybody. And I'm not saying anybody's not doing their job, okay? That's not what I'm saying here. People that are bringing, even the people that are fake people that are still bringing people in Christ might be saved because they saved many souls. Did you know that? So I never miscount anybody out. I'm not allowed to do that. Okay, so God in the spirit, and rejoice in Christ, and have no confidence in the flesh. Why? Because your flesh is never going to be incorrupt until you leave it. Then you become incorruptible. And he's got these people, oh, they're messing with your DNA and RNA. Who cares? You have Jesus. No, they're not. Even if they were messing with this flesh, which we all know they are, that doesn't matter. You inside can't be changed, whether your flesh is or not. Your flesh is darkness going back into the dust. Like God said, from dust I come, from dust I go. Through I might also have confidence in the flesh, if any other man thinketh that he hath whereof he might trust in the flesh, I more. He had the touch of God. We didn't. Why did he say, and have no confidence in the flesh? Because you got to not be sinning, not still having trouble with them. Overcome it. That's what he's saying. He had to overcome it. Don't trust it until you overcome it. Well, for me, the Lord showed me this isn't everybody, that I'm going to have to be washed up there as well, because I've been touched by unclean spirits, guys, and vexed. You have to be the final washing. You have to go through the water when you're done to get the remnants of the evil off of you, because none of that can be go through. Circumcise the 8th day of the stock of Israel and of the tribe of Benjamin, a Hebrew of the Hebrews, as touching the law of a Pharisee, concerning zeal, persecuting the church, touching the righteous, which is in the law, blameless. The righteous, you are righteous whether you're sinning or not. Don't put that for his excuse, because now it's all gone. Do you see that? Because you're under his hedge of protection, and he died once and all for all sins. So when the people come in, and the ones that are weaker and they need more help, they're going to be saved. Don't let people tell you you're going to lose your salvation. That's what Satan tells people. You can't lose it. Remember, earlier teaching tells you that in the Bible. You want me to go there? I did. We just we went by it not long ago. I do by it. Or did we? No, we're almost on it. That's why I didn't want to go to it, but I'm going to it anyway. So, but we are now bound to give thanks always, to give God. This is 2 Thessalonians 2:13. Sometimes I say it wrong. I forget that part, eh? To give God thanks for you always, brethren, beloved of the Lord, because God had from the beginning chosen you to salvation with the truth, which means sanctification in you, and the knowledge and the belief, and absolutely all the keys are in you. And this book starts the unlocking process. God bless you guys. I love you. I'm off. I did enough for today. I'll be on in the morning. I hope to see you guys at 10 a.m. Mountain Time. That's when I'm coming on for sure. God bless you and love you all. Time is running out. I've been saying that, and a lot of people have, and children are crying it out. So that's when you got to be prepared. God bless you. Even evil ones know something's coming. Bye bye.